Fight for justice against the release of her perpetrators. The latest that has come is the men who killed 7 of her family members during the 2002 Gujarat riots. The Supreme Court has dismissed 9 convicts' plea, seeking an extension for their surrender. All of them, 7 of them, had sought an extension that they be given a 3-month time, giving various reasons. The court has thrown their appeal out and saying that now they need to surrender by 21st of January, which is the Sunday coming up. The convicts had moved the top court to extend their surrender by 6 weeks, citing reasons like harvest season or dependent parents. But the court struck down their plea and has directed them to surrender by January 21st, stating their plea lacks any merit whatsoever. I want to cut across immediately to my colleague Nalini Sharma, who's joining us live from the newsroom. Nalini, that would be a big breather coming in for Bilkis Bano's counsel, because the court there throwing out the appeal of all 7 convicts, stating that there is no ground. Will you take us through the details?
Well, absolutely. In fact, Preeti, the entire matter was heard today. It was not 9 convicts, but rather 10 convicts who throughout the day yesterday and one of them just early morning before the matter was taken up by the Supreme Court today had filed this application asking for an extension of time. All of these 10 convicts were asking for time between 4 to 6 weeks to be able to surrender just 3 days before the deadline of them surrendering was supposed to hit. But at the same time, the Supreme Court bench of Justices B.V. Nagaratna as well as Justice Ujjal who was the original bench that had given the verdict in this case on the 8th of January, have said that there is absolutely no merit in their applications that have been filed by these convicts, which means that none of these reasons that have been cited by them, some of which you also pointed out, like the harvest season is complete and they want to complete those activities, or that they have to take care of their aged parents. Some of them have even said that they have to get their sons married or have other weddings in the family that they need to attend. So none of these reasons were substantiated enough before the bench for them to actually go ahead and grant this additional time, and they've drawn the line in the sand. They've told them very clearly that they have to go and surrender by the 21st of January. But that's of course by no means the end of this entire fight, because the convicts do have the right to now correctly through due procedure apply for remission before the Maharashtra government, which is the appropriate government that can decide as to whether or not they should be released. So at every step of the way, we think that the fight for Bilkis Bano and the fight for justice for Bilkis Bano is finally over for her. But time and again, some new twist in the tale comes up, like we saw even with this remission that was granted to these 11 convicts. So it remains to be seen what happens in this case in the coming days as to whether or not they'll file a review petition challenging the judgment, or they'll apply for remission before the Maharashtra government and what the Maharashtra government decides. But for now, definitely Bilkis Bano will be heaving a sigh of relief, because this is a case regarding remission that she's been fighting for at least the past year and a half.
Appreciate you.